I have a hack for the violet skirt for you that I think you're going to love. You might have seen me wearing this on stories. It is a maxi skirt with gathered bits. Obviously the violet is quite a straight skirt. It's got the wee slit in it if you want. It is beautiful, good for, I mean it goes with everything, it's more casual. I feel like this is more a wee bit fancier, holiday vibes, very swooshy, lots of fabric in it, and I absolutely love, love, love it. So the first thing is, the only bit that we're using from the violet pattern is the top bit. So all I'm doing is deciding where do I want this band to sit on me, and that's what I'm cutting, and then I cut my pattern pieces. So here are the pattern pieces, excuse the wee scribbles on there. That's my back, oh no, sorry, that's not my back, that is my front. That's that wee bit in there, it's flipped over obviously. And then this is the back piece cut and fold. So you can see they're all cut to the same depth. What I did was I made sure that the side seams matched, because that side seam is going to get stitched onto there, like that. And that side seam is going to get stitched onto there, so make sure they match. And that's all I did. I basically just chopped the top off the violet skirt. It means that this is nice and tight, it's nice and fitted. There's an invisible zip in the side of this as well, it's on that side there, which is all in the violet skirt instructions for you, and it's got the wee facing on the inside, so there's no waistband or anything on here. So that's that bit. The instructions on how to do that bit are in the violet instructions. The next bit is super simple. So all I did for this was I decided the depth of my middle tier, and then I cut a piece of fabric that was the entire width of the fabric. So if your fabric is 150 wide, this piece is 150 wide, because I knew I was just going to gather it up to fit. And then for the bottom tier, I did 2 strips. So I decided on what I wanted my length to be. I actually made it a bit longer because I wasn't sure, and I knew that when I tried it on, I could cut extra off anyway. But I decided what my bottom length tier to be, and then I cut 2 strips the width of the fabric, which means that this is always going to gather in. So this middle section is 1 width of fabric. This bottom bit here is 2 width of fabrics sewn together into 1 longer bit. As you'll see, there is a join in this one. There is not a join in this one. And then you're just gathering them to fit. So I made the top bit, I put the zip in as well before I put the skirt on. I've obviously got a wee opening here. You don't have to have that opening, there's plenty of fabric in this, so this can just be completely stitched right down to the bottom. But all I've done on this is just turned in a wee edge and stitched it, so it is dead easy. There's also instructions on how to do this in the violet, because we have the similar kind of vibe in there. And that is how you make a hacked violet skirt. I'm going to clarify some of the gathering because Kate said she didn't understand what I meant there. So, first of all, the depth or the length of this piece is totally up to you. I can tell you exactly what mine is and you can copy it. I'm 5 foot tall. This sits quite high up on me because I pulled it up a little bit, and it goes right down to the floor. So if you're the same height as me, you could potentially get away with the same kind of measurements. So let's measure. That is 43, add 2 centimetres seam allowance, 44, 45. So my middle section is 45. My top section here is 19, 20, 21, including seam allowance. And then my bottom section is 31, 30, 31, about 32 and a half, including seam allowance. If you're taller than me, just make this bottom bit a bit longer. Because I actually cut about that off this because I wasn't sure where I wanted it to sit. So I made that decision after I'd put it all together, because I just put it on, put a wee pin on where I wanted it to be, and then hemmed it and took whatever I wanted off. Better to be too long than too short. And then the reason we've got 1 piece of fabric here and 2 pieces of fabric on the bottom is because if this piece and this piece are the same length, there's nothing to gather in here. So we need, if I was to put another tier on, it would need to be bigger than this tier. So if you're gathering something into something, it has to be, whatever you're gathering into has to be smaller. Otherwise you can't gather that in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why, and it's easy to just double it every time. And because I had, and also when you've got your fabric, 1.5 is perfect width. There's loads of fabric in that. Doing it twice just gives you loads of, it just looks so luxurious, and it's so swishy, and this drapey fabric just, it looks expensive and beautiful and lovely. So I would just go for 1 width, 2 widths at the bottom. If you're going to add a third tier on, then I would go for 3 widths, just to make it amazing. But that, hopefully, if you've got any other questions, let me know, but hopefully that helps you make yourself one of these skirts.